I knew there had to be ideas of resistance, manifest best in the guise of my distance. This persistence ends with a comma, or I can spell it out. I don't rap for no drama corps. Open heart, sore blood on my sleeves, but I can't stop the progress. No time to grieve. Get your ass straight and maybe we'll be friends again. Till then, represent, this is next gen.
Number 1 is the fans, 2 is ourselves, 3 is the music, the content itself. Give a damn about dollars, man, we rather make sense. We are the next gen, this is the next gen. 1 is the fans, 2 is ourselves, 3 is the music, the content itself. Give a damn about dollars, man, we rather make sense. We are the next gen, this is the next gen. He made the name for the music and not vice versa. They lost sight, loud mouths all hurt us. Blame our own people and we end up getting burnt. Took the dream of a proud man and dragged it through the dirt. Bickering, fighting like a bunch of bitchy kids. Then you wonder why the listeners still don't give a shit. Old hindsight's always 20/20. Well, I should've walked backwards and seen the shit coming. Can't believe I loved you, can't believe I fought for you. I just did what I thought the Godfather do. Lars says instead, make certain he retracts. Then you call it to a forum, stab it in the back. Et tu, Brute, you brought us shame. And all you so-called rappers are soiled in
everybody, it's time to relax, pull up a nice book, maybe a nice cup of tea, because it's comics time! Yeah! I'm going to get back into my positivity spin, because this whole ranty thing is kind of getting me down, and I know it's probably getting a couple of you people wound up, and you know what? It's time for some positivity. I'm actually going to look at some books, some comic books that I really do think is doing a really good job at the moment. Again, this is just my take on the subject, and these are the books that I do recommend highly, because they are really good books, and they're currently in my Pull subscription. And while today being comic book day, every Wednesday is, and I think it's about time that I do this every Wednesday and like look over some comic book news, some books that I think should be brought into spotlights, maybe from past to the future. So I think I'm going to start doing this every Wednesday. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, these are not like everybody's picks. They are my picks at the moment. So, and what's currently resides in my pull list. So let's get on with it. Let's start with the controversial pick. Well, not controversial really, but because of the controversy surrounding this book at the moment and the variant cover that was pulled, Batgirl of Burnside. Well, okay, so the subtitle isn't of Burnside, but that's what a lot of people have decided to dub it, because yeah, it's Barbara Gordon, a different location than Gotham, and actually a different tone of the book than what a lot of people are used to. But it's a really good book, and I don't know, I can see why some people don't like it, and some people do, but I really do think it's a good book, and should definitely be checked out. If you could check it out from the beginning, during Gail Simone's run, I do highly recommend that, because that was a great read altogether. But I actually do recommend the new Batgirl as well, with the redesigned costume and everything. So the next book we're going to talk about is one of my personal favorites, and actually this one is a controversial choice, because there's a lot of people that don't like this book. I do. XMen. That's right, just XMen. No adjective in front of it. XMen, the all-female X-Men team. I really do like this book. Well, I think the majority of that has to do with the fact that Jubilee's in this book, and is the only book that she's in. But it is a really good read. It does have its problems. A lot of the climaxes are really bad. But it is a good fun read for what it is. You have Storm, Psylocke, M, Jubilee, and Rachel Gray. 5 members. And it is actually a really good read. Like I said, they did drop the ball on a couple of the storylines, and they could have made that a little bit better, the climax, but for all in all, I think it's a really good read. And the next pick is going to be another DC book, because why not go DC Marvel, because actually I'm going to be running out of DC after this, so. And that's Harley Quinn. This is a fun read. You want a fun read, this is going to be your fun read. There's a lot of action, there's a lot of silliness, there's a lot of wackiness, and it's Harley Quinn. Everybody loves her at the moment. So much that DC is now merchandising her at Hot Topic, and she got her own variant month, which is what this whole Joker thing is coming out of. And you know what, the less I say about that. Okay, I do gotta say one thing about that. If they decide to change the variant back to what it was originally and what was pulled, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I wouldn't have a problem with it if it was changed back or destroyed or kept away. Let's just get that out of the way, and let's move on now to the next one, which is Miss Marvel. This is an interesting read. I actually got into it, number one, because of the buzz. It is a Muslim superhero, and she got her powers due to the Inhuman Mist thing. And it is actually a fun read. It's almost like it's a teen. I consider it more of a teen book, because she is going through, she's in her teens and she just got superpowers. It's almost like the beginning of like Peter Parker and SpiderMan. It is a fun read for all, and I do highly recommend it if you can find it. The hardcover is actually coming out, so I would actually wait for that and just get a whole bunch of the stories all at once. Okay, and the next book, which is going to be another Marvel one, because I kind of ran out of DC books that I'm collecting at the moment, and that's Captain Marvel. Let's just keep on going with the Marvel theme there. Carol Danvers. I picked her up during her last run by Kelly Sue DeConnick, and it was recently started over. While it is actually currently in my to-be-read pile, which is sadly getting more and more, I do have to recommend the book. Captain Marvel is being well written at the moment. A lot better than what she was when she was Miss Marvel and back in like the 90s and the 80s. And it's actually a fun read, so I would definitely pick that one up. So let's see here. Let's go with another Marvel book, because like I said, I ran out of DC books, because I'm not really interested in that many DC books. Maybe I should go indie. Yeah, let's go with an indie book. Lumberjanes. It's actually a really fun book. I'm not very far into the series. I don't even think I'm caught up to the present day issues, but it is a fun read, and it's another female book, but it's actually really good. It's really well written, and the artwork is kind of silly. So I do recommend Lumberjanes, and let's go with the next one here on the list, the Unbeatable Squirrel. Now this is a book. You want to have fun in a comic book? Do you think people are brooding and so serious now that you can't take it? This is the book for you. It's actually the book for everybody. The Unbeatable Squirrel is such a fun read that it's one of my day one reads. I'll pick it up if it's in my pull list every single time, and I will read it almost immediately. There's like no chance of me missing an issue. of this because it is such a fun read. And what makes it even more special is the little Daredevil trading cards to villains. These are awesome. Also, I'm going to try not to spoil it, but try to read like at the bottom of the comic because there's some actually cool stuff going on there too. So just want to let people know that that was there, and it's actually pretty awesome. And I guess the final book that I'm going to talk about today that's actually in my pull list, I will be talking about other books that I do collect, and most of them I collect in collections and not just individual comics. So I will be talking about them probably next week, like some of the books that I do recommend that's not on my pull list that I do collect still. And I guess the last book I'm going to go back that's on my pull list that is a very fun read. It actually just came out, so it's only on issue 2, so you should be able to get into it fairly easily. And it's a book that I'm actually trying to get all the variants for. It's probably not going to go that way for me, but it's something I'm trying to do. And I'm actually going back and collecting all her previous appearances and everything. But it's Spider-Gwen. Yay! This is my favorite book. Like I said, it just got started. The whole story is it's almost like a what if. Like, what if Gwen Stacy was the one that got bitten by the radioactive spider and not Peter? And just like in the main continuing comic books, that Gwen Stacy died, as has Peter Parker in this alternate universe of Gwen's. And so far it's been a fun read for me, and I think it's mainly because I know the character's backstory beforehand. And but I couldn't get into Silk for almost the same exact reason. Like, I barely know the thing. I've seen like the comic book that she came out of, Original Sin, but I couldn't get into Silk. But I love Spider-Gwen. It is such a great book. And yes, the some of the puns are bad. Death from a butt being my favorite, but it's fun. It's almost like, if I would get spider powers and we're going out there and saving the world, what would I do? I probably would do the same thing. Death from a butt. Your comics are terrible and stuff like that. It's a fun read. But I'm actually going to let you go for today. I know it's not a ranty video, and I'm probably going to get like less than 10 views on it, but oh well. It's a comic book. It's comic books. It's something I love and something that I will defend, and I will talk to everybody later. Tomorrow I'm probably going to be back to ranty, so I'm sorry. But for now, we'll see everybody later. Bye.